And welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. If you are like me, you ran out of interesting things to do during your self-isolation a long time ago. Well, there's no better time than to head to Games and Things for a pool table, pool accessories, dartboard, foosball table, ping pong table, arcade game. They've got it all. Games and Things, just a tremendous place to go, and they've also got the home theater seating. But it's a great place to go and just kill an hour because it's a tremendous showroom, the stuff they've got. They call it ourgameroom.com. Well, their showroom is like a game room. Get out there and see it. Support Games and Things this week. All right. We told you earlier in the show that Tennessee was probably going to get another couple of commitments today. They did. One of them was linebacker Aaron Willis from the same school. The other kid, Katron Evans, committed from yesterday. He's from Maryland, so he committed at noon. It's a 4-star linebacker, according to 24/7. So the Vols add another 4-star. There goes your average points per player up, I would think. And then the quarterback out of Texas, Salter, is scheduled for 2 p.m. today. So a couple hours, you'll probably have another one added to Tennessee's list as their incredible roll keeps rolling.
Class is more than doubled in 2 weeks if they get Salter.
It's amazing. Literally, we were sitting here last month saying, boy, 10 commitments, but only 1 4-star.
Yeah,
how
conversation
that has
changed.
Yeah. Okay. I asked. We're doing a hindsight 2020 project on the show this spring, where we're looking back at the year 2020. So let's look back at past great performances by Tennessee football teams, players, etc. I asked Josh and Chuck to give me the best one-game performance by a Vol defender that they have ever seen, that they have seen with their own eyes. Chuck, I'll let you start, and we'll go ahead and put the graphic up.
Yes.
Your pick goes back to 1983.
Yeah, it's 1983. It was Reggie White's senior season. The stats aren't necessarily eye-popping. I believe 12 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 other minus yardage hits. But I remember interviewing John Ward about the best defensive performance he'd ever seen. And it was Reginald Howard White. And he said in that game, Reggie was unblockable. And we remember Reggie's defensive end. He was playing almost like a nose tackle a lot back then. It was just shooting the gap, and it was amazing. I believe Coach Fulmer even said the best defensive player performance he'd ever seen by a Tennessee player.
Okay, Reggie White versus LSU win 20-6 in 1983. Josh Ward, I ask you for the best defensive performance you've ever seen, and I'm going to guess a lot of people probably screamed to this one. Let's put it up there. There you go.
Yeah, part of the theme will be great players stepping up and in big spots as well. Yeah. So Al Wilson, 98, Florida, one of the most memorable games for Tennessee fans, and you look to the leader in the middle of that defense, 12 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. When you're setting a school record in one of the most important games in program history, that one is going to stand out. So Al Wilson in 98. The 97 SEC title game, he stood up as a leader. 98, he stood out as a player, and that helped Tennessee win a national title.
Yeah, exactly. Without that, I mean, that was not only big because you get the SEC title later, you win the national championship, but also you hadn't beaten Florida in 5 years.
Right.
Which, is nothing. That's a blink of the eye compared to the long streaks you've had against Florida since then.
And that kind of close overtime game as well. Every tackle and every forced fumble obviously counted. 3
forced fumbles is a pretty amazing stat from one player. And then mine, as Josh hinted to, big player, big game. I go back to October 19th, 1985. Dale Jones in the 16-14 Tennessee win at Alabama. Forced a fumble and recovered it. Tennessee's up 13-7. Forced a fumble, recovered it at Alabama's 28. But about 1-2 plays later, Tony Robinson gets hurt. Darrell Dickey comes in. They can't get in the end zone. They kick a field goal. They're up 16-7. Bama scores at 16-14. They are already in field goal range. But Dale Jones reads Mike Shula, who's going to try a little swing pass to Bobby Humphrey. He jumps in the air, bats the ball, and as he's falling, he has the hand-eye coordination to catch the ball. And I'll never forget the John Ward, ladies and gentlemen, what a play by Dale Jones. It was just one of those calls that you hear in your head, and it was one of the, that led to the SEC title, first one in 16 years for Tennessee, led to the Sugar Bowl and the win over Miami, and one of the all-time great plays at Tennessee, but also one of those players who's gone down like an Al Wilson as a legend of the school. And of course, Reggie White, he's a legend in all of football. But in terms of these guys at Tennessee who made their mark, Dale Jones will forever be a hero here. And part of it goes back to that incredible play he made at Birmingham to win that game 16-14. I wanted to throw out 2 other games recent which don't get talked about. One of those, Corey Miller,
Yeah.
4.5 sacks against Kentucky in 2013. The other one, Daniel Batuli, 23 tackles in the opener against Georgia Tech.
Right.
That was pretty good. And a lot of us were saying, why are you going back to Colton Jumper? And the interesting thing is Jumper's still in the NFL, so good for him. But Batuli had a heck of a career at Tennessee. 23 tackles against Georgia Tech. So anyway, wanted to mention a couple of those recent performances. They don't stand out because of the game, the team, but just tremendous performances. Josh Ward, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thank
We
you, John.
appreciate it. When we come back, Vince joins us again. We're going to talk about Tennessee's basketball schedule. Rick Barnes continues to schedule up. Should fans appreciate that even if Tennessee can't pull out the victories? I know they won't, but should you? Come on back.